Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here with Drink a Beer and Play a Game, and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour.
Yes, hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 141. Thank you for joining us tonight. And actually, speaking of joining us tonight, so in the past, as you know, we've had a lot of YouTubers, a lot of gamers, a lot of streamers, but every once in a while, we like to dip into the behind the scenes. So we've had a head brewer on before. So tonight, we have a first with someone who's actually in the business side of video games. So we have Celia Schilling. She is from Yacht Club Games. She's the marketing manager, and she joins us tonight. Celia, how you doing?
Pretty good. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming on. This is awesome. Jim and I, well, at least I know for sure I've played Shovel Knight. Always really enjoyed the company.
Boom.
And when I heard... But Jim, you're a shelf collector. We've been over this.
I have played the damn game, Brian.
But yeah, Celia, I mean, have you, I guess just kind of jumping right into it, how long have you been with the company? Were you there from the beginning, or is this a newer endeavor?
Oh, that'd be so cool to be there from the beginning. But actually, I'm one of the newer hires. I got hired right before the pandemic started. So they hired me. The world shut down. I'm like, when do I start? So it was one of those scenarios. But so a majority of like my time working with the company, it's been from work from home. But luckily now, since more people are getting more vaccinated and things are starting to, for what we've hoped, a little bit more normalish, I've been able to go into the office. It was so cool to meet everyone because I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all are tall.
Now, so what is is this a like right out of college gig, or had you already been in the workforce?
Oh, if you count these 2 years, well, almost 2 years, the Yacht Club, I've been in the gaming industry for about 7 years now. But
Nice.
Thank you for fresh out of college. That's nice. I wish I was that bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. But I've been in the gaming industry for a while. Prior to this, I worked in retro video game hardware marketing. So it's a shift from retro to modern now.
Really? So who were you working with before, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, yeah. I worked with Hyperkin. I was part of their marketing team.
Nice.
Nice. Now, being part of marketing, I mean, I've been in a bunch of different companies. You have to probably be on 100% of the time, and obviously with social media and everything, you must be glued to your phone even more than Jim is, and Jim does it casually for our site.
I wouldn't say just phone. I'm always checking emails too.
Yeah.
But it's kind of one of those things that when I was picking my career, in college, back to the college days, you're deciding exactly what you want to do and start studying and looking into. And even early jobs for careers, it's like, well, what do I want to do obsessively forever? What do I want to market? Like, what do I enjoy? And it's like, well, I love talking about video games. So why not get into that industry? And that's a very abridged how I did it. But basically, it's like, okay, I get off work and guess what I do? I talk about video games, like as a hobby with my friends for fun. I don't know, with my cat too. Like, so it's one of those things where, yeah, sure. It's never stop, I guess. But it's also, I would do that regardless. So it's like, oh, I get off my work for my video games and I talk about it more.
Now, what was the game? I think we all have that game that sold us on gaming. Was it a particular game for you that, like, at a young age you knew, like, this is it. I'm going to be into gaming for the rest of my life?
Banjo-Kazooie. When I got that first Jiggy and he did his little dance, I was like, oh my God, okay, this hit all the right parts of serotonin in my brain. And I'm going to collect forever. So yeah, I would say, that for Nintendo 64.
That was the go-to. Now, are you a big collectathon fan?
I do enjoy collectathons. I also like 100%ing games. When I was a little kid, I made up this rule for myself where I was like, if I have to get a new game, I have to 100% the ones I had before because you had to get as much value as possible out of your game. So I did that for a lot of my collection. Certain games like Glover, I just can't do that to myself. But I tried.
Now, I gotta ask, because this is one of the infamous ones for our page.
Is it Quest 64?
Huh?
Sorry, what? Oh, sorry. What?
I was going to say, was it Donkey Kong? Did you 100% Donkey
Oh,
Kong?
no. I thought you were going to go the Quest route. I almost got you. Because that's another one where I rage about. So Donkey Kong 64, I do not believe that anyone has beat it. Okay, even if you show me proof or recording, I do not believe you. That game has a special place in my heart of anger.
Yeah. We reviewed it. Jim got motion sickness, and I spent 40 plus hours just getting through the bare minimum to beat it. And like you're saying, I'm someone who used to love achievement hunting, 100%ing, and it's funny, like with more modern games, it gets even tougher, I feel like, than even some of the retro. But that game, my God, the amount of just going back and trying to find everything, it was mind numbing. So yeah, it has a special place in my heart, and it's dark. It's down there somewhere.
Yeah. No, I feel that. But also, like, it has Lanky Kong in it, and I really like Lanky. So,
There's always a silver lining.
yeah.
So on your Instagram, sorry, Brian. I was going to say, on your Instagram,
Jim.
you have a ton of games that you like to show off. Mm-hmm. So do you do the collecting as well as, like, just being surrounded by it? Were you the type who just never traded in games as a kid? Or do you do a little bit of both?
I think it's one of those things that I didn't know you could do that. So I just didn't give them away. And then basically how my collection happened was that, we'd get a game, my older sister would get a game, and then she'd be like, I'm bored of it, and then give it to me. And I had like my pile of games. They were like, I'm keeping these forever. And then I guess as it's got along, I feel like every game has a story of how I got it. Like Pokemon Snap, I got that for my birthday. Quest 64. Yeah, let's not talk about Quest 64. Anyways, for other games, I got for different reasons. And it just has just stayed in my heart. So I feel like I'd be giving up like a friend if I did that. I don't recommend that if you don't have space. I have a big shelf that I can keep bringing up.
Don't worry, I have the same problem. And I have a very massive overflow going right now, and it is not good.
Just build a fort. It's fine.
Yeah.
Ooh. I can say I'm doing that for my kid, and then the wife can't yell at me anymore.
Haha. Loophole.
So Celia, so that's the game that got you on your track. As you said, you've been in the game industry now for 7 years. Did you always know, though, like marketing was the way you wanted to go with this? Or was that kind of, you're going to just take your skill from college and say, I'm going to apply this to gaming? Like, was it that, or was it more, here's a job and I'm just going to apply?
It started, like, it's hard to kind of pinpoint an exact moment where I'm like, today's the day, boys. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of one of those things of where it just started to make sense over time. Like for marketing, I don't know, I feel like it was meant to be. Like my mom has like a master's degree in marketing. Like I work in marketing. My last name is Schilling. Like, come on, like I just got it. It's funny, I never made that connection. I actually found out from a YouTube comment when someone was like, hey, it's kind of funny that, she markets and her last name's Schilling. And I was like, oh, okay.
You're like, wait a second.
But now I've added it to my narrative. So yeah, I just feel like it was just meant to be. I guess like a point in time where I like started to realize I think video games is like my way to go, because I worked in like a different industry before, like my very fresh out of college kind of jobs. And like it was in the beauty industry, and I really enjoyed the beauty industry. But after a while, you just get sick of talking about makeup. And like video games, there's so many. And like it was just one of those things of where it's something I'm already in love with. So it just made sense.
No, that's awesome.
Now,
sorry, go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, as a marketing manager, you kind of just went right in. You didn't do it on easy mode because, like, we like Hyperkin, like, but Hyperkin's got it's got a love-hate relationship with like the gaming community on YouTube and stuff like that, between like the purists and the people who just want like convenience, that kind of deal. So, like, how much did you have to learn to balance like right away with like dealing with the purists like coming at you and just being like angry for sometimes legitimate reasons, sometimes no reason, or just like, just a general discourse on the internet with that?
So before Hyperkin, I actually worked for an augmented AR company. So I worked in video games prior to Hyperkin. Wow. So yeah, Damn. 7 years, long time in my life. So from that, I think that was like the half step from Hyperkin, from beauty to, video games in general. But it's just kind of one of those things where, yeah, beauty is a completely different monster, because like video games, it's my childhood. People are like, it's my face. So it's a different demon depending on who you're talking to. Mm-hmm. But if you understand that nostalgia and like, I guess, like appearance and like aesthetic comes from an emotional place, and it's very important to people. And if you can level with that, then you can really bridge an understanding no matter who you're talking to.
Now, I like everything you just said, because it's funny. We talked about how people can be mean for no reason or vicious on Twitter, and it seems like we won't go say names, but there are some companies that could use a more level-headed marketing approach or social media presence. Because what I find interesting is the ones that want to engage the trolls or the people spewing stuff at you on Twitter. And it's interesting. You dig into these like little war of words, if you will. Whereas, I guess as you've been doing this and you've been with these companies, how has that experience been as far as like choosing not to engage or just leave it alone or speak publicly about anything? Because like Jim mentioned, with Hyperkin, you got some people that are very loud minority, but like they're spewing things, and versus speaking out against it or just leaving it be.
So for that, with social media in general, if you're going to argue with someone, no one's winning. Even if you feel good about it and you're like, oh yeah, I sure showed them, haha, noob. I don't know, like whatever you want to actually deal with it. Like no one's winning in that conversation.
Yeah.
So it's seeing whether if you want to engage with someone and they're actually coming from a place of like it's important to them and that's why they want to express this way, or there's no place for them to accurately voice their concerns. Then it's using that like energy and seeing where you can funnel into something productive. And I don't know, for other people's strategies of how they want to do things, that's okay too. If your marketing strategy is to be the sassiest person on earth, like, I don't know, Wendy's, then like do it.
Yeah.
And if you do it, pull it off well, because oh my God, they will come for you. But like, it just really depends on what your brand persona is and exactly what you want to focus on. So, yeah, it just depends. But like my message to consumers who do engage brands, be kind. There's a person there who has thoughts and feelings and is probably checking the Twitter on their lunch break. So they're having lunch, they're eating a sandwich. Be kind to them.
That's very good words right there. I like that.
And actually, now going back to school for it, is that something that they kind of teach you or prepare you for now for like the modern world of marketing? Or is it a thing where you have to be, a dumb, amateur like me who will get into dumb argument and then look at the next day and go, why did I do that?
Okay, so guys, I'm going to let you out on a little secret. Okay, I got into marketing in college. I took a class in college. I did not major in marketing in college, so I don't know. Let's call on. Can I call a lifeline? Because I have a lot of friends that did get a degree on it. But from what I've heard, marketing is constantly evolving. So I don't know what the brand strategy is right now. Like I graduated college in 2014, so it's been like a little bit. So maybe they've evolved it more with social media. I didn't learn that. I was more in communications and theater. So I can tell you about what you study in theater if you want.
Theater dork, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I'll take responsibility for this. I'm always terrible. We meant to at the beginning. We wanted to say, where can everyone find you? Because I know we just kind of jumped into something here, but where do you want them to find you? Where can they find you? And where are some links? And they will be posted below. But we always mean to do that right at the beginning.
Okay, well, for work-wise, if you want to, I don't know, tweet at Yacht Club Games to tell us how cool our game is, because Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon's coming out on December 13th for a bunch of cool platforms, and I'll talk about it later. But yeah, so if you want to talk to us during work, you can talk to us on Twitter. We're at Yacht Club Games. You can talk to us on Facebook. We're Facebook/Yacht Club Games. See a pattern here? If you want to watch us on Twitch, we stream on 7 p.m. every Tuesday at Pacific Standard Time at 7 p.m. We're twitch.tv/Yacht Club Games. So that's us. Personally, my Twitter is Celia B with 3 B's. And you can also find me on Instagram as Kosher Gamer. That one's more of like a personal, I just share my collection and talk about whatever I want to talk about at that moment. But that's my spiel.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think Jim and I, I think we probably first, saw you through Instagram, and like I said, sharing your gaming collection. It was clear, like, okay, you have a love, especially it seemed N64, Nintendo related. Now that you've been in the business for as long as you have, though, and aside from games that you work for the company and you're developing, do you still find yourself being drawn to trying out older retro games, or are you kind of trying to just split it half and half with new games, old games? Like, kind of what's your strategy as just pure enjoyment, not just research for work?
Oh, yeah, I downloaded Phantasmagoria So 1995.
I love that game. I just beat it last
I
year.
heard it. Oh man. Okay, it was on Steam sale, and I
Mm-hmm.
always would be like, oh, I want to get that game. I really want to get that game, and then it was $6 on Steam sale, and I'm like,
Yep.
bought that up. I bought a bunch of other games. I bought a short hike. I was
Nice.
on a different interview with Goomba Stomp, and they had recommended me that game, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna buy it now because it looks cute. So for I guess balancing with retro gaming and modern gaming and all the things in between, it just kind of just seeing what interests me. I tend to gravitate towards things that remind me of nostalgia of the games that I grew up with or consoles because I'm very into physical card game
You
collecting.
don't say.
Yeah.
I'm holding up Shovel Knight right now.
Woo! So it's kind of those things where I tend to gravitate towards things that I, nostalgic, or I wanted to play as a kid and, I couldn't get that game. So I'm going to buy it as an adult with adult money. So it's like one of those things. But also for indie games, it's whatever looks good. Even AAA games, it's whatever looks good and what feels right to me of what interests me. So just depends.
Okay. Nice. Now you said, it's funny, you're speaking about retro games and, I'd played Shovel Knight. I hadn't played a few of the other games, but you said about 2 years ago with Yacht Club Gaming?
Yeah.
So
Just about.
I noticed, obviously, it was just produced, but, oh my God, why is my mind blanking? It's Cyber Shadow. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So was that kind of one of your first projects coming? Well, that came out, what, the beginning of this year?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was my first campaign, game launch with Yacht Club Games. So yeah, it was really cool. My first shipped. There we go. That's how you refer to it as. But yeah, it was really fun, especially since it had such a tie to the NES. It's such a love letter to the 8-bit genre of gaming that it was actually really cool to market. And it was kind of like blending the two worlds of that I hold dear to me.
So speaking of that, then, tying in with your retro games you love, your collectathons, would the most ideal thing be being able to ship a game that kind of tries to recreate Banjo-Kazooie nowadays?
God, that feels so good. But it's one of those things where, it just depends. Because I don't know. It's like if it recreates Banjo-Kazooie, am I just going to completely compare it to Banjo-Kazooie and be it's not the same magic. I'm not 10. That's why it's not right. You don't know. So, but we don't know what the future, I don't know, our Shovel Knight could be in any type of thing. We could do, I don't know, Shovel Knight pizza party or Shovel Knight goes to college. I don't know. It could be anything in the sun. You don't know. We've seen that Shovel Knight's an all-encompassing franchise. So since, we've had our platforming, we also did, we're doing a puzzle game, which releases on December 13th, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. Who said that? Anyways, so you never know what's next. Besides Dick, you already announced that.
So I wanted to ask you, without being able to leak too much to us with the game coming out, and what's that date again?
December 13th.
Yeah. So with that coming out, is there, obviously I know you're in the marketing side, but how early access are you given to that game? Are you given that game before it's a finished product? As someone who's just working on a team, do you get full access right from the get-go, or
yeah,
right from the get?
So I can play it at any process of any time of anything. Okay, so the thing about Yacht Club Games, which differs to maybe other companies, I don't know, I don't work for them, I don't know what they do. So it's kind of those things where we're very hands-on. So everyone has hands-on into anything. I sat in when we were writing some of the story for Pocket Dungeon. And we were talking about things. Actually, wait, I think it was Dig, and we also talked about Pocket Dungeon. But I was in the room for that as well. So anything that you're interested in talking about or being involved with, you're more than welcome to be there.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, I've played very early versions of Pocket Dungeon. I have obviously the late stage. I've clocked in probably over 100 hours of the game. I am aggressively good at it, just so you guys know. So it's just kind of one of those things where, yeah, I think I've been involved for a decent amount of the process. Obviously, I'm not in the coding room, working with Mig and working with Caesar and
Sure.
Russell on it. But yeah, I feel like I'm pretty attached to the process.
Now that's awesome. So, but being a gamer and someone who's so passionate about it, it is a job now. And even though you're obviously you're doing something much more fun than the majority of us for a job, at the end of the day, it's still a fun thing. But is there a part of you that, like, not saying with this game, but is there, like, are you able to fully turn off your analytical mind when gaming now, or is there always a part of you that now thinks about all the behind the scenes? And, like, has that changed your view on even how you game on a casual note or regularly?
So it's actually a few things. I've become more understanding. Like if a game gets pushed out, it's like, oh, there could be a variety of reasons. And so like as a consumer, like if something gets moved, I'm always like, oh, like that's totally fine. Like, you may have done like a smoke test and like things, you found new bugs that you're like, oh no, we have to fix that. Or, there are development issues or there's funnels. Like, so I became more understanding, I would say, as turning off my brain. I feel like when I read like copy, like for advertisements for games, that's when my brain switches on. And I'm like, I see what you did. Great job highlighting those features, marketing team. So I feel like it's more of camaraderie than anything like else. And then actual for game development, luckily, since I'm not to like that level of understanding, I can still enjoy games like to a T. Like I enjoy everything still.
That's awesome. Now, I feel like some people can become jaded. I mean, we've talked to content creators, but no one, like Jim said, behind the scenes. And it's funny because they all have that feeling of like, I do like playing games, but there is a part of you like you're constantly recording footage or you're doing stuff that makes you almost think of it. It's not work, but it's not like you're sitting down and just playing the game and strictly that's it. Like there's, and I'm sure a lot of people get into that, but that's good. You've still been able to separate it a bit.
And actually, speaking of games you've been sitting down and playing, besides, of course, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon comes out on December 13th. What have you been playing lately for just sitting down casually?
Pocket Dungeon. Okay. I've literally like right before we jumped on this call, I was recording Pocket Dungeon. So I've been living and breathing in on it. And by the way, did you know that it comes on Nintendo Switch, PS4, and on PC, which is Steam? And so basically, yeah, I've been playing it on all of those platforms. Wow.
And do you know the links are all below where you can find it for all this stuff?
All that below, and depending whether it's live or not, you can pre-order on Steam and on Nintendo Switch right now. Wow, so cool. Wow. Can't stop, won't stop. Anyways, so other games, more recently, like a short hike, I played a tiny bit of Phantasmagoria. I played 2 minutes of Emily is Away 2. It's because my friends came over earlier than I had thought, so I had to turn it off. And I'm like, I hate when friends get in the way of gaming. So there's that. I think that's it right now because Pocket Dungeon's been like my main love in my life right now.
So have you always been like a crazy puzzle kind of player, or has it just been because of work and all of a sudden I think you kind of fell in love with by doing that?
So I've played a bunch of different puzzle games before, but like different types. Like, there's the why did I just forget the name? Where he's like, let's solve a puzzle. Why am I forgetting it? They did a crossover with Ace Attorney. He's like he has a top hat.
Professor Layton?
Yeah, there we go. I just forgot about him. I played a lot of his games. Awkward. Sorry, Layton. I don't know. As a kid, like with Nintendo 64, like I played Pokemon Puzzle League.
I was gonna say you were a Puzzle League girl, weren't you?
I did like it, but I also like 3D platforming. Like obviously Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Mario 64, all that good stuff. But I also really like Zelda games. I'm a huge Zelda fan.
I was shocked actually when you said games that turned you on and you knew like this was the game. I was waiting for Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. You said seeing your Instagram, I was like, I'm sure it's going to be a Zelda game, and if I had made a bet, I would have lost. So
good. Well, next time.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but the thing is, though, is that my favorite Zelda game is actually Majora's Mask because I can have a bunch of reasons why. But so if I didn't have Banjo-Kazooie, I would go Majora's Mask, and then after that, I would go Thousand Year Door. It's really good.
What has been your take on the whole Switch N64 online and how they've emulated those games, since you do love them so
I
much?
haven't paid too much attention to it because I've been really busy. But I also own the games personally, and I prefer to play on original hardware, and I'm so cheap. So, like, I'm like, I have the game already,
You're like,
and I have it on GameCube, so I don't need to play it again. Not play it again. I'll still replay it, but you know what I mean. I don't need to
you
buy
don't
it
want to
again
keep buying it
Buy it a
over
fifth
and over.
time.
Yeah.
unless it's Shovel Knight Games. Everyone agree on every platform you should buy it on there.
Everyone.
But
possible.
besides that, who said that?
So I love though that you throw in there with all the games you just mentioned. The one that sticks out, and as I'm the horror game guy, is the Phantasmagoria. So, are you a big fan of point and click and FMV games, or are you a fan of horror games, or maybe both?
So I'm a fan of point and click games.
Okay.
So when you say that though, because like obviously, like it all started with Putt Putt Goes to the Moon when I was a kid. Remember that one? Have you ever played that as an
I've
adult?
heard of it.
I've saw it, but I've never played it.
I had
you
a
go
Mac
to the
from
moon.
92,
Spoiler
so-
alert.
Damn it! He went to the moon. Now I can't play it.
So yeah. So there's that, and then like it's grown over the years, and then also like I don't know if it counts as point and click, but like the Danganronpa series, I love Danganronpa. Have you ever played it? I'm probably
I've heard of
saying
it
it
a
wrong.
lot, but I've never touched it.
Oh, I'm aggressively in love with it. Go play it. It's amazing. So I like a lot of like story-based games, like where it's really heavy on the story and you can get kind of involved where you can like discover with the main characters or like whatever the sort for that. Or like the 999 series. It's like puzzles, but you're also pointing and clicking on stuff. It's like the Nonary games. I think that's what it's actually called.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like those. Horror games, I get scared very easily and I have anxiety problems. So those don't mix well together. I don't know why I'm playing Phantasmagoria. Let's find out.
Well, that's why, like I said, as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, maybe she likes horror games too. And yeah, so that's interesting. You like the point and click. So if you like point and click, Jim, what's that game you have for the CDI?
What, Seventh Guest?
Seventh Guest. Yeah. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I actually have no experience with the Philips CDI, so
Luckily, it
that's
came
a
out
good
on
thing.
PC and stuff beforehand.
I
The
know,
CDI
but I
version's the worst.
fantasize going to a thrift store and seeing it next
That's-
to an Apple Pippin and a Casio. It was a Casio. It was no. What was it called? The Casio Loopy. There we go. Why did I forget that? I love that one. I
funny.
fantasize going to a Goodwill and seeing that there, and they think it's like a VCR, so it's like $5, and then I buy it. So that's been my.
Have you
My
watched this
fantasy.
before? Because that's exactly how I got my CDI.
Yeah, that's how Jim
Oh, I
got
hate
it.
you, Jim. That's my dream.
I was at a Goodwill, still has its sticker on there for $6.97, and I was like, this is a big ass DVD player, and I was like, Philips. And I looked at the number, I was like, wait a second, and then like I like viciously looked at my phone like 7 times, and I was like, holy crap, that's a CDI. So
And
of course
it was right next to the DVD and VCR players.
Oh man, that's like I've been joking that for like 5 years now.
See, you willed it into existence, and now he got it.
Yeah, for Jim. Rude.
God, you wasted it on me. Oh, poor thing. All right, do that again, but with a 3DO. Because I really
Okay.
want a 3DO, and I don't want to pay today.
It's okay. I really want a Wonder Swans if we're going down the list. We
Oh, okay.
haven't,
I'll keep an eye out. Maybe it'll work in reverse for you.
Okay.
Now I need to get the Vectrex to make Jim angry, since that's what he's wanted.
Knowing you'll actually find it and get it though.
So those are the games you've been able to play. Now let me ask you, obviously, since we are a beer channel, do you drink beer or any type of alcohol or no?
So, normally, yes, I'm a wine person. But when I drink beer, I like a lot of cervezas, or like I go on the other side of things and just do IPAs because like I
Alright.
like bitter beers. So
Ooh. Now, do you like the hop bitter, or well, I guess have you ever tried any sours that you've liked?
I tried some sours, not real, like they're okay. Like
Yeah.
the thing is though, is that I do not know what's the word. I am ignorant with beer. I know the names, like I know Green Flash. I like
Yeah.
that one. I know the this isn't like a cerveza or IPA, but the Celia beer because it's my name.
There you go.
It's from
Yeah.
Czechoslovakia. I like it. It's really funny because there's Shilling cider, and then I'll like double fist it with my name. It's really
I was
cool.
gonna say yes. I was gonna ask about the shilling. Hey, so it's funny. You talk about marketing, and Jim and I have commented for a while now on the marketing of beer. What beer does right now is the thing that I think newer generations are going to miss out very much for video games is the idea of like going in, all you have is the physical cover to look at, and you're completely ignorant to anything else. And beers like are right now going through this weird thing where a lot of them are going to a complete minimalist style, whereas before they were big, bold, like art on the front. And we've talked with a few brewers and how they hire them. But new ones literally will just be like text or something that makes it come off a little boring. And it's a choice, and that's fine. But like when you're looking for eye appeal, it's funny. So I love the idea, though, that you're just choosing beers. You're like, hey, that's my name. That's my last name. Like, I like that because everyone starts off, no matter who they are. You just look at a label and you say, that kind of looks cool. And you grab it, and that's how you try different things. So I definitely like that. That's the approach.
Thank you.
Now I know you're just getting done work, but are you enjoying any beer right now, or is it
So right now, oh no, I'm not getting off of work right now. So I have it's in a Guinness glass and it's water. So
Yeah.
I decided to be included with you guys. Oh, I also like Guinness, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so it's just water.
Now Guinness? Have you ever been to Ireland?
No, I haven't.
I'd always highly recommend to people that of all the breweries I've been to, that one is it's like the Disney World of breweries. So
Oh, wow.
if you go to Ireland, just highly recommend it. And even my wife, who not into beer at all, had a great time there. She's like, oh, this is a really cool place. So yeah, definitely give that a try if you ever go there. Now, what about you, Chambers? What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking, continuing from my Harpoon. Yep. From Harpoon's little joining in with Dunkin' Donuts. The Harpoon Dunkin' Midnight. So this is the one that'll probably make the most sense for this little collaboration. It's an American Porter, brewed with Dunkin' Donuts coffee in there. So comes in at 6%. I'm halfway through my second one already, and yeah, it's very smooth. I don't know if it does anything to really truly set itself apart from like other porters out there, but I can actually taste the Dunkin' in it, surprisingly enough. So
Yeah.
if you go to Dunkin' every morning like I do, you're like, oh yeah, that tastes like Dunkin'.
Now, Celia, I would highly recommend this next one, but you're California, right?
Yes.
So I don't know if they distribute out there, but on the East Coast, Trogs is very popular, and it's one of our bigger breweries. But this one is called Mad Elf, and it's brewed with honey, cherries, and it's strong because it's 11%. So it's a little bit on the hefty side. You go through one or two bottles, you'll definitely feel it, but it's not too heavy with the cherries or honey. So it's like not overly sweet. It's a very chill beer, and I'm just about finished this one. So yeah, it's one that I would highly recommend if you ever come to the East Coast or they start distributing out there. It's pretty tasty if you like cherries or honey. If you don't, then yeah.
Well, next time I'm visiting PAX East, I'll keep an eye out for it.
Exactly. So, Chambers, what now? Have you been able to play The Plague's Tale? Because I know you're not a story guy, but I know I've been telling you.
It's actually funny when she's like, I really love story games. I was like, uh-oh. Because I'm the kind of guy who goes skip. So no.
Yeah. Blasphemy.
Honeymoon's over. But what do you call it? I have not been able to play Plague's Tale yet. I did download it, but I have not been able to get around to it to have, like, any time. The only gaming I've really done lately is actually Zelda. I picked up the Game & Watch, and I've been playing Link's Awakening, a game I've never played before. And I've been playing it on my lunch breaks off that little screen, and you know what? It's fun. I'm terrible at Zelda games, I've come to realize, because it took me way too long to figure out how to get into the first dungeon, but yeah, I'm having a good time with it.
See, Jim, if you didn't skip all the scenes, if you read some of the text, you'd understand the context.
I've had to go back and reread some dialogue things a few times to be like, oh.
Oh.
I have to pay attention.
So you got the Game & Watch?
Yes, I did.
Jim.
What?
You have all those games. Like, you just keep rebuying all of these little...
No, I've never had Link's Awakening before. Never had it on any platform or anything like that, so this is the first time I've had it. And with all the time that I put into the Super Mario one, I'm like, I'll get my money's worth out of this. And this one's actually closer to being worth the $50, so...
Wait, Link's Awakening's in the Game & Watch?
Yeah, it comes with Zelda 1, 2, and Link's Awakening.
That makes it so much more worth it. I just thought it was Zelda 1. I was like,
You're like, wait a second, that's not
Okay.
worth it at all.
I mean, like, yeah, okay, Zelda 1's great, but like you know, you can also get it for like $5.
A billion
Maybe.
other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, But yeah, oh, I love Link's Awakening. I wish they had Oracle of Seasons and Ages on there. That'd be so cool.
I'm sure, knowing Nintendo, that they will milk that
Willing
to
that.
death, and we will be getting multiples of these with all those on there.
Yeah. Nintendo, for everything they do, they know how to resell the same game.
Heck yeah.
They did like a Game & Watch with like the GBA games, so like Minish Cap or in like some of the Game Boy Color ones, like Ages and Seasons. That'd be pretty cool. All games I've never played.
Yeah.
What? You've never played the Minish Cap?
I've spent like 5 minutes on it because I was a 3D.
Who are you?
I have a very weird taste with video games. But what do you call it? So I am a 3DS ambassador. So what do you call it? Like I have Minish Cap on there, and I meant to play it years ago, and then I accidentally dropped my 3DS, and then the screen broke, and then I didn't get fixed for a couple years. And I was so worried about like losing my ambassador games that like I never just bought another one. So I was like, oh, I'll get this fixed eventually, or fix it myself. So then it was like years down the line.
Did you get it fixed?
Yes, I did eventually get it fixed.
Oh, okay. I was about to give you so much shit. Like, oh my god.
No, don't worry. I got it fixed. I played through Metroid Fusion this year. That's how I did it. So
Okay.
yeah, but no, I'll eventually get to it. I started playing and I was like, this is too much story for me to handle right now. So
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Jim's got to waste all his time. He's like, oh, I need another Japanese exclusive shooter that's the same as all the other shooters I've played because, God forbid, I care about story.
Yeah, who needs
Yes.
to learn the meaning of friendship, right, guys?
I didn't have any growing up. I don't need them now. Man.
Jim!
But yeah, no,
Speak-
that's been spending the most of my time on that. So
Well, Jim, speaking of our friends and people we do care about, let's get to our awesome patrons and their questions this week because I know we have a ton of them.
yes, patreon.com/DrinkABeerandPlayAGame, where visit was $2 a month. You can ask a question that we will answer on each and every single one of these Power Hour podcasts. So first up from JD Mains, will we see another EA Tiger Woods PGA Tour release? If EA designs the game so Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka fistfight during match play, I would prepay anything EA wants and endure loot boxes. I don't know anything about pro golf.
I was going to say, it's the wrong crowd for me.
Did
Celia,
golfers actually get in a fight? I might actually start watching if that happens more.
This is completely out of my alley.
I know.
To
Mario
answer his
Kart.
question, I don't think it'll have the Tiger Woods license anytime soon. Maybe that's still a little bit of a iffy area, but because they dropped him after that whole thing he had about a decade ago. But I mean, I don't even think they've had any golf games, had they? I got to look into that. I have not paid attention at all.
Jim, prepare for a really stupid question.
Go on.
I didn't realize he still actively played. I thought his son played.
He has a son? No. Tiger came back. I think he's won like one or two majors since like he came back. So he's
thought,
had a
like,
little bit of success.
Yeah, I thought he got in like a really bad car accident like last year or something like that.
Did he? I don't know.
Yeah. So, JD, I do like the question, but unfortunately, none of us are that much into golf, so I can't answer. Sorry, bud.
Right. I like video games, and if I don't read the story of that, you think I'm going to read a newspaper? Come on.
Jim doesn't like any stories.
Words hurt me. They're too hard. Next up, actually, Kev Call just said he loved the concept from last week about picking specific gears and comparing them, so we'll definitely be doing that in future episodes.
Yeah, for sure.
So thanks, bud. And he was like, I meant to leave a question. I'll share it for the next episode. Sounds good. Next up, from Michael Soto. What is your favorite football game? We used to have plenty of options back in the day for different series, and now all we have is Madden, for the most part. It can be new or old. I'm curious if it's Madden, 2K, Street, QB Club, AFL, Mutant. Which one holds the interest the most, and is there a specific gear? Damn.
Easy answer for me is Tecmo Super Bowl. And I love the Blitz games, but I have more nostalgia because of Tecmo Super Bowl, so I'm sticking with that. I did really enjoy a lot of the Maddens, but not enough that I wasn't like, that was my brother. He was Genesis, because, Genesis is only good for sports titles. We know that.
Not doing this again.
And basically, he would be the one that every year in, year out, get every Madden, and he continued that, up until whatever generation of games. I didn't get stuck with that, so yeah, Tecmo Super Bowl, because it's still playable even if you're not a big football fan, and I love that they do mods with current gen rosters. So that's my go-to.
Celia? Ever dabble?
Like Tecmo Super Bowl, like the Tecmo Bowl game in theory, because like back in the day, my old job, like they would market with it with the Retron 1 HD. So that's my experience there. I also have for the Nintendo 64 Madden 99, the old guy on the front, in shrink wrap. So if I open it,
still
it's
sealed.
Yeah. So it's worth $1 if I open it, and if it's closed, it's worth $5. So
I mean, that's
actually, I don't know how much it's worth.
That's your
I think it's worth like,
don't screw it up.
I don't know, maybe a Subway sandwich. It's worth whatever a Subway sandwich is now.
But wait, Celia, aren't you gonna get it WADA approved?
Like graded?
Yeah.
Yep.
I would waste my time, like someone's time, grading a Madden 99. No, I don't think so. I have a few graded games, but not Madden 99. I also have my Majora's Mask in a Madden 99 cartridge because in college, one of my friends stepped on my cartridge and broke it, and then the metal was kind of bent, so you couldn't put it like in the game. So I swapped out the cartridge with a Madden game because it was like 25 cents at a garage sale.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay. So it's really funny when people come over and Majora's Mask's in there and people are like, oh, she really likes football. It's like, yeah.
You're like,
football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
What about you, Chambers?
You know what? I'll do a little different. I'll go with my most nostalgic, and that'll probably be Madden 2002 on the PS2. Because when I got my PlayStation 2, like, I got that in Gran Turismo. Like, it was a Christmas gift. And, like, I remember popping that in and being like, holy crap, this is so real. And, like, that was the one I played the most with my brother. So, that's probably, like, if there's one, like, I have 1,000 Madden games in the collection now, just because a lot of the time they're just so cheap. I'm like, all right, I'll spend $1. Why not? But that's the one where, like, if I actually want to sit down and play a Madden, that's actually one of the ones I go for.
I thought you'd say Mutant League Football.
I do love me some Mutant League Football, but that would been like too normal of an answer for me. So,
Gotcha.
I went with the nostalgia route.
Mystique.
Mystique's his dog.
My dog.
Yeah, anyone watching the video, anytime I'm looking up suddenly, that's my wife chasing after the dog upstairs. We have a puppy, and he likes to eat everything. It's such a joy. Next up from G to the Next Level, are there any retro games that you have never beaten that you really want to go back and beat? My biggest burn for me right now is the original Ninja Gaiden on NES. Cheers.
Celia, as a 100%er, what is your answer there?
What's the white whale?
Quest?
I've already played through that. I have a rant about Quest. Trying to think, what is my white whale?
DK64.
I've never been able to beat Mischief Makers. I need to go back as an adult and like replay it again.
Okay.
But I never got past the last guy, the little coyote rocket foot guy. It just didn't work out with me.
Now, is that one, does it actually, like, sometimes when you're playing games, you think, you know what, I might actually go back and try to beat that? And do you ever go down the path of starting it and then you realize, oh no, this isn't happening?
No, the thing is, though, it's just that I just would get distracted with something else. Like, I'd go back and be like, oh, I love Mischief Makers. By the way, Mischief Makers is great. It might give you a little motion sickness, but it's, like, pretty good, though.
The camera's a little wonky in that, even for a 2D game.
Well, no, yeah. So, for Mischief Makers, it actually, it's one of the few 2D-ish, I guess, games on the Nintendo 64. And you also use the D-pad. One of the few games you do that, too, with it. But, yeah, it just hurts your head. A little too much, and I think that's why I stopped playing always, but I remember really enjoying it.
So did you always have the motion sickness, or you like me and then like, well, obviously you're not old yet, but I'm an old man at this point, and like I think I hit like 30 and all of a sudden I was like, any overly snappy camera I would just sit there and go, ooh. Was it like late onset motion sickness, or did you always have it? So
I can't remember what the exact cause was, but I remember playing it as a kid and then feeling really nauseous. But I think I also had the stomach flu, and I'm just remembering it weird. But I think, I don't know, just as an adult, like just because like there's a level, I don't know if you guys played it, where you it swaps how the screen is viewed, so like it goes like vertical or horizontal or whatever. And just seeing that, and you're just like, well, especially if you're not playing on a CRT, so there's no anti like alias, like it just all of it looks crunched, polygon, background, weird. So anyways, yeah, it's fun. Go play it.
So with the motion sickness, have you dabbled in VR, or does that keep you away from it?
Oh God, yeah, I've dabbled in VR, and I do sometimes feel nauseous. I was at VRLA. I hope that's still a thing because it was really fun. I went on this like exercise bike that was also a VR ride, super cool in theory, but it really feels like you're going that fast because you're like pedaling and the way it's doing it. Yeah, I felt real sick after that. I was like, oh, I gotta go. It was fine. Everything was fine. I had water, but yeah, that was. Whoops.
So the real trick is we have to try that while we're drunk, is what you're saying.
Oh my
God. I also bring a bucket, for fun.
Yeah.
Everyone has their friendly bucket.
I mean, we gotta be responsible, of course. Come on. You don't VR and drink. Come on. But Jim, now what about you? What's the white whale in your life?
Oh God. You know what? If I'm gonna go back to being a kid, Adventures of Batman and Robin on the Genesis.
You never beat that?
No, that game was so balls hard. I've never been able to beat that. And actually, as I was like recording footage for a video I did this year, like it was actually the farthest I ever got. So I was like, oh, maybe I can go back and maybe give it an actual try and beat it. But I have so much other things to play right now. It's like I don't have the time for that.
Yeah,
I don't have the time to get good anymore. I got to get my money's worth out of my multiple investments.
So the one game, and Jim, I know you're in the same bucket with me, and we've talked about it. Without using codes or because we did footage for it, I've never sat down in one playthrough and beat Zombies Ate My Neighbors. And it's a tough, very long game. It's not quite as bad as Kid Chameleon, but no, I think it's pretty rough, like to just sit down, and especially even if like you and me play it, like you just got to be really on top of your game, collect the keys the right way. Like there's so much you have to do to really beat it effectively, and yeah, I've never in one sit down done it. So that's one I want to go back and really try sometime.
Mm-hmm.
No, but great question, G. Appreciate it, bud.
Yep. Next up from Wacky. With PS5s back in stock, are either of you planning on getting one this month? And if so, what brand of hockey pads will you be wearing to purchase a copy?
Wait, PS5s are back in stock?
I mean, probably for 10 minutes at a time.
Oh, they are. I just looked it up right now. And yeah, first thing that popped up was Walmart for $1,050. So
some change.
I don't know if they're quite in stock.
That probably not. Probably that minute when that person's
yeah.
Yeah, that's Walmart Marketplace. People confuse Walmart Online with Walmart Marketplace. It's kind of like Amazon, where you can put any price you want. Like I could sell this glass right here for also $1,000 and call it PS5. You want to buy it? It's for sale right now.
Yeah, just write PS5 on it. There you go.
Yeah.
I've said if the Xbox X or PS5 do become available for a reasonable price, like I'm not one of those people. I'm not going to pay out the ass for a scalper, or I'll wait till it's back to regular price. Who knows how long that's actually going to be, but yeah, I've said I'm not going to go to a store, try to get there like midnight, or do any of those things. I'm not doing any of that. I can wait. I'm good with patience.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like I'm not dying to kill myself to try and get one of these things, especially since they each only have like a handful of games that make it worth getting. So now, like with the Xbox, like all the performance boosting for the backwards compatible stuff, cool. That's a selling point. But it's got like 2 games. PlayStation's got like 5 I actually care about. So I'll wait until it's a little more available and easy to get. And I'm also lazy and cheap.
So lucky for you guys, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon's coming out for PlayStation 4.
That's right.
So we don't have that problem. Okay, no, sorry. I'm trying to think where I can shift it in. I'm a professional, guys. So for that, yeah, I'm waiting too. I don't pay scalping prices. There's never going to be a time in my life watch the PS6. I'm like, I'll pay anything. Take my house. Take my cat. But yeah, right, like it just doesn't make sense. Even if it was like, I don't know, Persona 6. I love Persona. Like if that was coming out on the PS5 and I would aggressively want to play that game, it doesn't make sense to me. But I guess for some people, if they're really like, I don't know, they're excited about Elden Ring that's coming out, or another game, if they want to play Bug Snacks on the PS5 or Cyber Shadow because it's also available for that, like they totally could. And I totally understand it.
Now, wait, Celia, so Jim and I are notorious. We've said, other than maybe 2 or 3 games, it's very rare we buy brand new games, because it seems like anymore, games like will go down by 30-40% within 2 months. And it's like, I'll just wait and get it then. Because, you know, we also have backlogs. Are you in the same boat, or are you, what do you think you average as far as new games per year?
It depends. So like I will buy a bunch of games, but they're also like $4 because they've been out for 8 years. So for new games in particular, I have to really love the franchise. Like, I don't know, when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, I'm going to buy the heck out of it. I'm going to fight children for that. The kids are not even trying to fight me. They're going for something else. I'm like, get out of my way. Allegedly, legally, that's a joke. Okay. But like, but in general, like I tend to hold off on things unless it's like very important to me. It just depends. It really depends. I was
going to say with your work schedule too, and especially when a certain game is coming out on a certain date very soon, you know, you've had a lot of time to spend with that.
Yeah.
But if you're not close to a release, you know, that you might have a little bit of time, but then you have to play your point and click games, right?
Yeah. So like literally when I'm on my vacation, I'm probably going to play more Pocket Dungeon. Because I'm addicted. It's really bad. I'm like, this interview and my work's getting in the way of my Pocket Dungeon playing.
Like,
I mean, yeah. Okay, but yeah, no, I need to get through Phantasmagoria. I tend to like what's it called? 100% my Steam list. I've been trying. But we'll see. I also need to beat a short hike. It's supposed to be a short hike, but I was doing everything else except hiking, okay?
You're like, this is false advertising.
I know, right?
Wait, 100%ing your Steam list. How do you possibly do that when like Steam sales give you like 1,000 games for a penny?
I don't buy those. So I'll get a game and then I'll beat it and then I'll get another game.
Look at you with self-control.
I know, except I bought 4 games this time, so I'm a liar. But like besides that, I tend to, you know, one by one every so slowly. Like I had this Steam game called like Pony Island, and it's a game not about ponies. It's 0% about ponies. But yeah, so like
you and these false advertising games.
I know, but it's very good. It's fun. I don't want to ruin it for you. It's probably like $5, so go check it out. Anyways, but yeah, I never had that on my Steam list, and I refused to buy any more Steam games until I beat it. This was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but I did beat it, and I have more Steam games now. End of story. Bye. Okay.
So wait, now you've sparked something in me as someone who loves 100%. Like Jim avoids games with story, do you avoid like open-ended multiplayer games since they don't really have an end?
I don't play them. I also don't play FPS games.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of online co-op I don't do. So yeah, you did. You found the genre that I avoid. It's because it's like, oh, like I don't know, like whenever I was really into Fortnite or whatever, there's like 2 things I don't like.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's FPS. I think it's like third-person shooting, but whatever. I don't know.
It's battle royale, online shooter. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't care, and I don't feel like fighting children. I could go outside to Walmart to do that. Yeah. Like I don't need to
Which you will
be in the comfort of my own home.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said children, because like in my head I'm a kid too. So I meant people my age.
Yeah.
And the kids. No. Okay, so so like honestly, it's kind of one of those things where like, yeah, I don't enjoy it because I can't really beat it. Like, I've played Fall Guys. It was really fun. Like, I've actually played with Mediatonic, like their crew, and they were really cool. And like the game was awesome, and I understood that, but I wasn't very good at it, and I can't complete it. You can't complete Fall Guys.
Well,
or maybe you can. I just didn't get it good enough. I don't know.
Well, that was my point. When you said you liked 100%, I'm like, ooh, okay, so the antithesis of what you would like is these type of games. But now it's weird because modern consoles, you might not be able to complete it from a story standpoint, but you could achievement hunt or trophy hunt, depending on what system you like. Do you do any of that stuff? Or not really? No.
No. Like I don't like I used to do like self-imposed challenges where it's like,
Mm.
"Oh, I was able to do this one. That's cool." But like as for like going through like all the trophies and all that, it doesn't really matter much to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of like,
So you never wasted your time like we did.
no. But like, I don't know. On the same note, like Banjo-Kazooie, I found all the secret eggs and like, the ice key and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think I'm
Nope.
just getting old.
Nope, you gotta prove it. You gotta record it and do it. That in DK64.
Oh God. Yeah.
Get all 4 billion bananas. What a wonderful idea for a game.
I feel like you just start crying and like magically it'll start happening, right? That's how you play Donkey. Or is
That's
that
it.
how I
That's
play
it.
Donkey
Yeah.
Kong 64? I don't know.
You just keep running and jumping off every ledge possible until you find something.
All right, here's one for you. Gun to your head. You have to 100% one of them. Quest or Donkey Kong. Yes.
She's like, that's the meanest thing anyone's ever asked me.
Okay, so like the thing is though, is that Quest 64, I know how to do it, but it hurts. But also, just the way the game is it. Have you played Quest 64?
No.
It's an empty game, so it's like not hard because you just find the spirits along the path, and you can upgrade certain things. But you have to make sure to get the rock move and the healing move because the other two don't matter. You have 4 choices. If you pick, like, it's a 50-50 chance you're going to fail at the game and you'll soft lock yourself. But anyways,
perfect.
it's a different story. So technically you can 100% quest, but it hurts. Because like the camera, like you get into a random battle and then the camera spins around,
Yep.
but everything looks the same. With Polygon, they like to use fog a lot and just everything looked the same. So basically you just like get turned every time you did that. So you just go back to the village a bunch of times. It was really bad. And like the village is all empty. So like every village you go to, there's like nothing in it. There's like houses made, and I feel like they ran out of time, but that's it. Sorry, I will keep on just ragging on Quest 64. I'm so sorry. I
Wait,
think THQ made that.
Celia, here's a little game for you. You have to market for Quest 64. What are the good features of it?
Do you hate yourself? Because I have the game for you. I don't know. It looks like it'd be a great RPG classic for the Nintendo 64. We didn't get that. We made a sequel, though, called Aiden's Quest, which really wasn't a sequel, more of a spiritual successor of Sucking. So you got that, too. I don't know. I have a lot of anger because I was not a PlayStation kid. I was a Nintendo 64 kid. And like my PlayStation friends got Final Fantasy. Like, whoa, oh my gosh, mind blown, amazing. Polygons look so realistic. Don't look at it now. It's not realistic. And then I had Quest. And I'm like, what did I do wrong?
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. I love that, by the way. I like that breakdown. So, Jim, who asked that question? That was Eric.
Oh, yeah, that was from Eric.
Oh, awesome.
Thanks, Eric. So I guess Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Donkey Kong. Chambers.
Enjoy that 100 hours to get that done. Oof. And last up from Phony Montana. Rather than drinking alcohol after a long workday, I personally prefer smoking a joint or bowl because I know I will be well rested and not feel sluggish the next day like I would from drinking. What are your personal feelings on weed and why you choose to use or not use it?
Well, in PA, it is still not a thing. So, officially, you can't do it. But I'm saying if you do it in places you can, go for it. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Just be responsible.
I do it once a year at this point on family vacation because I know I'm not responsible with it because I remember how I was in college. So when I enjoyed it a little too much, and that's all I wanted to do. So now I got to use a little self-control, and I'm old. So, but no. So I'm not against it at all. And, if it gets legalized, cool. But, yeah, I just stay away except for when I know I have absolutely nothing to, have to do the next day or ever.
I live in California. Okay, that's my answer.
I like it. Yeah, you're on the opposite end of the spectrum as PA right now, unfortunately. Well,
Stupid
fortunately
Quakers.
for you, so.
Yes, that wraps up the questions for this week. So once again, thank you to everyone. And if you're new to the show, please head on over to patreon.com youtube.com/DrinkABeerandPlayAGame, where, from $1 all the way up to $10, you can either get a shout out every week, get a game request of your choice, ask a question every week on the Power Hour, or even use our comments section and descriptions as a billboard for your content. So head on over there, check out everything. We got exclusive content, all that good stuff.
Yep. And thank you guys once again. Truly appreciate all the support. And please make sure to get those questions in, because we love interacting with you guys. And if you're in the higher tiers, request whichever video games you want us to review, because we want to get to them for you guys.
Yep. And if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. And if you have any rebuttals to anything we say, head on over to the YouTube page and leave a comment there, because it'll really help us out over there too.
All right, so we are back now. Got new beers in hand. I have the new shirt, which if you've seen off our website, it has the new logo. It's tough to see a little bit, but thank you everyone who has ordered it. All right, Chambers. So for this week's reoccurring bit, we got which is better, and you put this up here, and I'm gonna be interested in what you two say, because you're much more into it. But what's better, Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh?
Because if you follow Celia on there, she actually, how we started talking for the most part on YouTube or on Twitter is me just making some dumb comment when she was like showing some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff off, and then you go on her Instagram, ton of Yu-Gi-Oh, ton of Pokemon. So that got me thinking. That's like when you're growing up in the late 2000s. That's the thing. Which camp are you? So Celia, you get the floor. Which one would you say has your heart more?
Okay, so when you say that, do you mean as a game, or do you mean as an anime series? Because
you can break it down as you want, or you can say overall franchise too.
Okay, so I enjoy the Pokemon franchise more. Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh have a lot of things in common. Like they probably should have stopped going a long time ago. Just kidding. But like it's one of those things where like it's been generations and generations and generations and generations of games now, where it's like, are you a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh? Great. When did you actually start playing the game? And the reason why I say that is that it's just like now you're doing synchro summoning, but I think it's something new now. And it's like I played Yu-Gi-Oh in the time of the dual discs. So in the very beginning. But at the same time, like with Pokemon, like I haven't played Sword and Shield. I haven't played any of the new stuff. Like I don't know how new the Pokemon are, but they are exciting and fun. So that's why I think I'm gonna go with Pokemon, because I was playing the new Pokemon Snap, and even though it was Pokemon I didn't even know, and I'm like, who are you? I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to go with that series. But as an anime, oh my God, Yu-Gi-Oh is so like bananas. Like it's really cool. If you actually read the manga at volume 6, Joey almost kills somebody. It's really, really violent for no reason.
I was going to say, did that actually keep up to violence? Because I know like Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero, what they consider
season
that
0
anime, was like super dark and like violent, and like that's how the manga actually first started. Like, Picking Games was just like, your life's actually on the line. When, eventually the anime we all know and love, it's like, oh, Shadow Realm. Okay. So, really kept it going that long, huh?
Yeah, the Shadow Realm doesn't even exist. It's hell. 4Kids made that up when they brought it over here.
Now that's... I'll
like the purple fog, all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's just added in when they got a hold of it. There is no Shadow Realm.
Really, nothing like that. So
yeah, they play games in hell.
Or was it just like hell flames around them?
Yeah, they're just in hell. Like, well, they're in darkness, but like an anime haze. But it's not the Shadow Realm.
All right, I'll still say that's a little bit better than what Dragon Ball Z did with the Home for Infinite Losers, instead of just saying it's straight in hell. But I did not know that. Now, what do you call it? As a card game, did you ever dabble in the Pokemon game too, or did you just?
I collected the cards, but I just looked at them. I played once in the 4th grade with my friend Alexis, and we got in this big fight about it. And I was like, I don't want to play anymore. And then that was the end of me playing Pokemon, the card game.
For old heads like me and Brian, that's what we do with Pogs.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Collect. Do you want to play? How do we do that? I don't know.
It's like marbles, except they're flat. You just have to smack them down, kind of like Squid Games.
Rules. Yeah.
So, Jim, I can give my answer. It's just like Celia's, which is Pokemon. But that's as an outside observer. Honestly, and I know a lot of people get mad, Yu-Gi-Oh! To me always seemed like the knockoff Pokemon. And I know that's a broad statement. I get it. But I have zero... I haven't played that at all. I'm not involved with it. So it's coming from a place of ignorance. That's how I think most casual gamers look at it. So Pokemon, yeah, I think takes the cake when it comes to that.
All right. Well, of course, I got to be the voice of reason here, and I got to go with the superior one, which is obviously Yu-Gi-Oh.
So that means everyone's going to agree it's Pokemon. Go ahead.
Of course they were going to use Pokemon. I mean, look, I can't touch the video game. Well, then again, if you don't like straight-up RPGs, you want a little spice in your life, Yu-Gi-Oh has games all across the board, all different ways that they've tried to do the card game and adapt it into other things. You have real-time strategy games, you have weird tactics games, you have weird grid-based games. You just got a little bit of everything, except for Dungeon Dice Monsters, which kind of sucks. But like Celia said, I think the anime is so much better. And as a straight-up card game, too, I tried to get into Pokemon and I couldn't, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Definitely sucked me in for a long time. But I'm also, like Celia, where I have no idea what the hell's going on with that game now. I picked up Duel Link Evolution on the Switch, which is like, it runs the gamut from like the original all the way to today. And I spent like a minute with it. I tried to do like a game or two with the new one, and there was so much going on, it almost gave me a headache like right away. So
Yeah.
let me keep with like a few effect cards, and that's about it. Synchro Summoning, I think, was where I like stopped too. That's when I was like, okay, I can kind of get this, but it's a little too much for me now.
Yeah. Also, Sacred Cards. Play Sacred Cards for Game Boy Advance. It's so good.
Ooh, I need to play that one. I've never touched that one.
So I've played an unhealthy amount of hours of that one.
That was me with Duels in the Roses on PS2. Like, I put hundreds of hours into that, just trying to get lucky with the slot machine to complete the entire set. That's one I wanted 100% and get every single card in. And if I had like a white whale for like going back and complaining, it would probably be that.
So the important takeaway is me and Celia are right. Jim's wrong. And
Hey.
yeah, Pokemon's better.
Easy there.
So with that, first, Celia, we have all the links below. But why don't you one more time let everyone know when is this certain game coming out?
Yeah, so Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. If you don't know what Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon is, well, it is a puzzle action adventure with a dungeon crawling twist that we developed alongside Vine. It takes everything that we love about a falling block puzzles and mix it together with like a dungeon crawling type roguelike adventure. We really hope you enjoy it. It's coming out on December 13th for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and PC. So it's on Steam. Go check it out right now. I don't know when this is going to air, but currently there are pre-orders open for Steam and Nintendo Switch. So go check it out. If you have any more questions about the game, you can hit us up on Twitter. We're at Yacht Club Games. You can always hit us up on Facebook. We're facebook.com/Yacht Club Games. We also like to stream on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we're twitch.tv/Yacht Club Games. See, there's a pattern here. Yacht Club Games, hit us up. Also, you're more than welcome to check out our website. We post all of our announcements there at yachtclubgames.com. Wow, that was great. And if you want to look up me personally, I'm sorry, why? But besides that, you can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/Celia B with 3 E's. And then I'm also on Instagram. I'm Kosher Gamer. I post about retro games, collecting, and random anime stuff. I also post some dank memes. They're pretty good. Pretty good.
Definitely give follow to Yacht Club Games and Celia on Instagram. With that, we want to say thank you so much for joining us. Can't wait to have you on again in the future. Maybe we'll be able to get you to bring some beer on as well.
Next
And
time.
make sure, check out that game. Check out the links below. You can pre-order it by the time you're watching this video. It'll come out next week. So please, with everyone, thank you for listening and cheers.
Cheers, everyone.